Did you know that humans are getting shorter? What does bacon and eggs have to do with the CIA successfully overthrowing the government of Guatemala? Which country has a life expectancy of only 14 years old? Learn the stories behind these and so much more in my new book, Facts That Aren't True. Don't forget about my other book, Rational Answers to Stupid Questions. Link in the description.
Well, I don't think you can determine good absent a moral God.
A moral God that kills babies?
How does he kill babies?
With water, or by being a sneaky spirit in the Egyptian desert.
So what are you referring to exactly?
The God of the Bible. The flood, the killing of the firstborn in Egypt, the mauling of 42 young lads by 2 bears.
So we understand that the flood happened because people were disobedient, and then God promised not to do that again.
Then why did he kill all the firstborn in Egypt?
It was a warning to the Pharaoh.
So, okay, let me ask you a question. Would you accept that if in the United States we enacted a justice system that worked like this? Somebody commits a minor felony, you know, the kind of thing you normally get like a fine for, not like a prison sentence necessarily. So the government kills that person's children and says, let that be a warning to you. Would you accept that?
Not necessarily, no.
Why not?
Well, because of the New Testament, you can hold Christian ethics and be against the death penalty.
Why? Well, we're not really giving, I wouldn't even call this the death penalty. So why, like specifically,
Or any...
specifically, why are you
like
against killing somebody's children as a warning to that person?
Yeah, again, any sort of death penalty or warning or anything like this, because of the New Testament, we can hold Christian ethics and be against it.
So are you
So
against the killing of the firstborn children in Egypt?
No, I understand it at the time, but to bring up Old Testament and be like, gotcha, is kind of lame.
It's your God, which apparently Jesus was. Kind of lame.
Jesus.
Do you think thou shalt not commit murder is a lame idea?
That was God's idea, though.
Old Testament.
No.
Do you think thou shalt not bear false witness is a good idea or a bad idea?
I think that's a bad idea.
You think that committing perjury is good?
Perjury's good? No.
Okay, so what I was saying, right, I was saying the commandment, don't commit perjury, is a good idea. But that's Old Testament.
Yeah, so we can still hold to the original commandments. That's not what Jesus came to fulfill. But when you bring up Old Testament, like, oh, well, Pharaoh was being kind of a pain in the butt for Moses, and he got a warning, hey, if you don't do this, there's going to be people
How
that
is
will
it
be harmed by that.
How is it that you are able to take the mass genociding of children as a warning to Pharaoh? How is it that you're able to reduce the mass killing of children that way?
How is it that you even think that's evil in your worldview?
But for the same reason a
'Cause you have
bachelor
no
isn't married.
determination for it.
Why is a bachelor not married?
Hello.
He doesn't want to be?
Hi. Huh?
Hi.
Yeah, so a bachelor wouldn't be married because he doesn't want to be? I don't
No,
need
it's not
to
because he
make
doesn't want to be.
personal.
A bachelor isn't married because he isn't married. By definition, a bachelor is not married. We can say that murder is wrong by definition. We are allowed to do that. We are allowed to use reasoning to come to those kinds of conclusions.
See, this is where you're going to come into error because you're already assuming reasoning, but
No, I'm not
you
assuming
don't have
reasoning.
any
I do
epistemic
reasoning.
Well, hang on, I'll explain. You don't have any justification for reasoning.
How do I not?
Go ahead and justify it.
Reasoning. So are you telling me there are reasons you can't justify reasoning?
I'm saying you can't justify reasoning because in your now, granted,
You are
I don't know
using
what
reasoning
exactly
to do
your
this.
is.
This is a self-defeating prophecy.
This is not self-defeating. It's actually yours.
You are giving me
self-defeating.
reasons
Thanks
for
the
why
projection.
reason cannot justify reason.
No, I'm telling you that you have no justification for reasoning.
Are you giving me a reason that reason can't reason about reason?
I mean, no. Okay.
Yeah, that's what
I'm
you're
telling
doing.
you don't have any epistemic beginning.
No, neither do you.
How's
You
that?
have a
That's not reason.
presupposition. Anybody can have a presupposition. I presuppose that I am experiencing the world around me as it really is, and that the laws of nature are uniform and consistent. But I can justify that because I experience that literally all the time, and we have co-referential experiences. I can ask you, what's the length of this board? 4 feet? Oh, that's what I thought it was too. Okay. Things like that.
Yeah. So the problem with the effects of physics is that you can't make truth claims because they're neither true or false. For instance, you can't have a false tornado.
A false turn. This is funny. And you can't say that murdering children is wrong.
No, I can because it
Okay,
says thou
say
shalt
that
not
it was
kill.
wrong for God to have killed all the firstborn children in Egypt.
That wasn't wrong because.
So you can't
there's
say
a
that
reason
killing
he
children
did
is
that.
wrong.
I
Okay.
can. No, you're making this category error.
No, I'm
And I'll
not.
explain.
You said killing
Yes.
children is wrong. So
Right,
if
because you
God
shouldn't
killed
kill.
children, it's wrong.
I mean,
What's
I
to stop
suppose
me
if you
from
will-
inventing a religion that says kill everybody named Joffrey Klein and the person in his truck? And then say
I mean,
that there's nothing wrong with doing that.
You'd have to justify why that's moral.
Because it came from God. I would invent a religion that says do that.
Yeah, and what's your justification for this God? Did you just make him up?
I would say that I have an experience with this God. What's your justification?
For my God? Oh, I think my God gives me reason, logic.
No, that's what I
ethics, all
think.
these
You're
things.
borrowing from my worldview.
No, you're borrowing from our worldview, bro. That's what I'm trying to
No,
tell you.
because my God is eternal and your God was invented by Israelites and then later modified by
What?
a bunch of Palestinian. Yeah. Your God was
Dude,
invented.
That's not Christianity at all, bro.
Why?
What are you talking about?
Have you ever heard of the Old Testament?
Yeah, that wasn't Palestinian, bro.
I didn't say Palestinian. I said Israelites.
I mean, I'll rewatch this to make sure I didn't mishear you. I could have sworn I heard Palestinian, and I was like, what the fuck is this guy on?
But no, yeah, my God is the eternal God that's always been true.
You don't believe in a God.
Yeah, I do. I believe in the one eternal God that's always been true. And I have a personal experience with it. And it says, kill everybody that goes by whatever you go by. And that would be
Which is
perfectly
what?
justified. Anybody can do this. Anybody can invent a God and then say, this is justified based on my experience, because those experiences are personal and cannot be shared by other individuals.